Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fruitymasterz channel. Today I was wondering, is it possible to recreate this sound?
Battlefield original tribe, we coming home.
By using only 3x OSC by FL Studio. And yeah, I mean this one. Now, if you're familiar with 3x OSC, you might be like, no, that's not possible. But I tried it anyway. So here's my 3x OSC recreation of Headhunter's Home. Now, this might not sound entirely like the original, but oh crap, wrong preview. Let's go! Alright, so sorry for messing around there. This is incredible, right? I'm a bit confused this is actually possible with 3x OSC, because literally 5 years ago I did my first hardstyle tutorial using pretty much basic FL Studio stuff, and it wasn't that great. It was fine, but it just wasn't that great. And it turns out to be my top 3 video on my channel. Like, why? So, let's dive into this. I also only used FL Studio stock plugins. So, basically, when I recreate a melody like this, I dive into Silent 1, I use some virus sounds, I use CLA 3A, C1 compressor by waves, OTT probably, Fab filter, all that stuff, saturation, decapitator probably on the leads bus. I used none of them. This is only FL Studio's 3x OSC. Yeah, that crappy sound. But it turns out it's not that crappy. Alright, so let's disable some effects here. And let's show you the dry sound. This is how it sounds without processing. That's way different, right? But the thing is, when I recreate a melody, I start with the MIDI and the bass sounds, and I try to get as close as possible without any reverb or delay or whatever, or pads, basically. Yeah, it's a really straightforward process. Now let's go one by one with the sounds. This is the first lead I recreated. This is where I started. And once processed, it sounds like this. Yeah, a bit of volume reduction, then it goes to a bus, then it goes to another bus, and then to a final bus, and then to the reverb and delay. And then if you play the second one along with it, it goes like this. Alright, so that's not bad, right? Alright, so the second sound here is a supersaw. Now the problem, like I explained in the previous 3x OSC video, is that you, once you go right here into the magic where it all happens, the echoes thing, you can't do the gliding anymore. And with the sound of home, to make it sound accurate, I really want to have that portamento in there. When you go to a higher note or a lower note, it sort of takes a little bit of time to travel, the gliding stuff. So what I did, I made it a bit more extreme in this sound. So when you play them together, it sounds like they both have it. Then, what I use to process them is basically a compressor trying to match the CLA 3A punchiness. Then after that, a chorus. Yeah, to make the bus sound match a bit more with the other one, because there was some phasing and clashing and crap. And then an EQ, and then it goes from this to this. Now, and then the second sound. I use the same compressor setting and similar EQ. Then I send both of them right here to the melody leads bus, and there is, yeah, another EQ. It's all really simple, but there's a lot of simple. So basically a lot of simple makes it a bit more complex maybe. Then there are the chords. Now this is pretty decent chord sound for 3x OSC. Yeah. Now, and from there I only did a little bit of EQing. And then they both go The lead 1, lead 2 go into the lead bus, and then the leads and the chords go into the leads and chords bus. Now this might seem complicated, but it really makes it easier. Let's say you just want to edit the leads. You don't have to do it on both of them. You can actually do it on the combined bus. And let's say you only want to do the melody or the chords. Yeah, it's like, this is really easy. Now, from here there's a whole bunch of more stuff happening. So let's compare. It makes it cleaner, I think, brighter. So there's a compressor on there, probably the same setting, maybe less extreme. Then a wave shaper, and I use this one right here, this setting knob, to reduce the post, so it's easier to compare. And I was trying to turn this into some kind of fake saturation. Yeah, I think this is some kind of overdrive, maybe. Sounds about right. Then there's an EQ. Then a sound goodizer, because why not? Well, there are many reasons why not, actually. But yeah, I tend to use a really low setting. Yeah, in this case it works fine. And then I don't know why I did this, but it's somehow necessary. Yeah, then let's dive into the interesting stuff. Now, right here, in the original I've heard some plugs. And I tried to recreate them. It was hard to hear those plugs, actually. So I made something up myself. Yeah, might not sound that impressive, but I did a bit of processing there. Holy crap. And a distortion, a delay. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening here. Now let's play the processed version. Way better, right? Yeah. It's basically a bit brighter and smoother, maybe. The most important part is the delay and the reverb, and I use the distortion on a really low setting to make it match a bit more, to pull out that cleanliness I don't really want from 3XOSC. Now, then we have a bass arp, because I've heard those plugs, but in the original there's also some kind of bass sound. And right here, there's not a lot of bass. Now, so I added this one. Really simple, and I use that trick with the echoes again, and processed it sounds like this. Yeah, now then I made the sub bass. I think that's a really cool sound. Just the sub bass. This didn't really do the trick, so I added an octave and a 7th note on top of it. And that really, somehow, it gives a bit of extra frequencies that really merge everything together. It doesn't always work with some really crazy major minor switching melody chords things. This might not work, but yeah, it's a nice trick. I've actually learned from luminosity and maybe from colors, I'm not sure. I analyzed a lot of tracks, people. Right, so EQ doesn't do that much, I think. Oh, wow. Okay, so it does do a lot. Most of these sounds are actually mixed and tweaked while listening to everything at once. So that's a better way of mixing, I think. That's the way they teach you how to mix when you go to a school. Don't just focus on the sounds in solo. Try to match them while listening to the whole thing. Yeah. Now, then we have the sidechain reverb and delay. And yeah, it's really great, actually. The delay of FL Studio is fine. And the reverb, well, it's almost good enough. Then we have a clap. Yay. And then everything goes to a new master bus. Yeah, so instead of using this master, I threw it in the new master for the sake of making this a template. And there is a wave shaper, a compressor, parametric EQ with a bit of more gain there. And then there's one final one I just made. And there's a little bit of stereo reduction here because it was way too wide. And then it sounds like this. Now, if you're not impressed yet, this is where it came from. That's the 3XOSC sound, and I've turned it into this. Right? Before actually making this video, I tried to make some random melodies. It's not that great. In the same template, just to see if it works with all the melodies. This is one I made. It's similar to Das Boot, I think. not bad. I think this one is not that great. In this type of melody, the reverb starts to go out of balance, so it gets more muddy and too wide. But yeah, it's made on another style of melody, of course. So yeah, here's the fun part. This is a free download, and with Easter I did this free template. I'm turning that download link into a free template pack, because I might actually do more of those. So yeah, you can download this right away. Don't expect all of these melodies to be in there, because especially this one, Headhunter's Home, it's not my own melody, so I won't be sharing the MIDI. But yeah, have fun. This is actually an older version, so everyone with FL Studio, even the demo, yeah, you can use this. The clap is also from FL Studio. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you liked this video. I think this is a pretty crazy recreation, using only FL Studio plugins and only 3x OSC as the main synthesizer. By the way, if you're still watching, you might have noticed that last Thursday, yesterday, I think, or the day before yesterday, I don't know, I didn't do a how to make hardstyle, and that's because it's so much work to create these videos actually, and there's a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, so I need a break. This is not a bad thing, because I also need a break for my ears, you know. I've been listening to the track so many times. The next time I make a video, I want to hear it like it's new again. So otherwise I might actually mess up the series by making the wrong decisions, because I've heard it so many times before. So the series will continue in about a month, so don't worry, it's always fine. I might actually do some small videos, and then in about 3 weeks, I think, in about a month, we'll continue how to make hardstyle. Thank you all for watching. See you again next time.